So apparently we got to go over the bridge. Okay. And to the left for the boats. What a lovely morning. Look at that. Lovely morning. And this is where we're heading, over here.
You will apply for a license for your fix sets. So it basically goes through a lot of questions, you know, how many fix sets do you have? Are they digital? Are they a bit older? It will ask you things like, do you have radar on board the boat? So that goes on your license. And it may ask you if you've got other pieces of equipment such as AIS, automatic identification systems. Effectively, any piece of equipment you have on your boat that has the ability to transmit a signal outside of the vessel goes on a license. Now, where a portable license comes in is where you have handhelds. Okay, so with a handheld, of course, it isn't fixed to just one vessel, is it? If this could go across another, so I might have a kayak and a sailing yacht and a rib, and actually I use that across all of them. Now, rather than putting that on lots of different licenses, I can just apply for what we call a ship's portable license, and therefore we license the kit, but it's not licensed to a vessel, so it can be moved from vessel to vessel. Okay. Of course, the only thing we can put on that is anything portable, such as handhelds, and there's something called PLBs, which stands for a personal locator beacon. Okay, and these are things that kind of go on your life jacket, and if you, as a skipper, if you end up in the water, you can activate it, and it sends a distress alert to the Coast Guard and pinpoints your location. Handhelds can go on ship's radio licenses as well. All right, just to confuse you, but that then becomes fixed to the vessel. Okay, so then you can't take it on your kayak unless you put it on a portable license as well. Does that make sense? So if you do have your fixed equipment on board and some handhelds, you don't have to go out and buy these. You have to go out and get these two licenses. You can put it all on your fixed one. Just then stays to the vessel. There are lots of different pieces of equipment out there, hundreds of different sorts of radios. And of course, I can't teach you the ins and outs of how every single radio works. Okay? We're going to go through some of the basics of a radio and how they operate. This is kind of what you'll find on 90% of the radios out there, even stuff that's very, very old. But let's have a look. So, like I said, they're real radios. They have been tweaked with to make sure that they don't transmit outside of this room. But the receive function hasn't been changed at all. So let's have a look then. So the first thing we need to do is obviously give them a power source in your boat. They won't just work unless you plug them into something. With handhelds, make sure you keep them charged up. Okay? Handhelds aren't like mobile phones. They will last on standby for a long, long time. I hardly ever charge this one up. But when the battery starts getting low on it, so you start getting almost that last battery indicator symbol coming up on your handheld, go and get it charged up, all right? Because it'll probably work fine on standby, but if you try and use it, try and transmit with it and draw a load of power from the battery, what you normally find is it goes off, all right? And that's just enough to kill it. So just make sure with these, if you are using them, just remember to keep them charged up before you head out. Next thing we need to do is give our radios, our modern digital radios, something called a GNSS input, which stands for the Global Navigation Satellite System. It's basically a GPS source. Our modern radios need to know where they are. Okay, so if we hit the big red button, it sends our position. It can only do that if the radio knows where it is. Okay, so it will do that by having a GNSS input. So integrated into some sort of other piece of equipment on board your vessel, such as a chart plotter or GPS unit. The early ones always had to be integrated. Sometimes getting them to talk is not very easy. Like if you're getting a Garmin trying to talk to a Ray Marine system, you know, it's not just a case of plug and play. It's generally a lot of settings you have to change. It can't be that easy. So I always say, for the sake of an extra 20–30 quid, if you are buying a new radio, just get one with built-in GPS. It's so much easier. Then if you have an issue with your chart plotter, your radio is always good to go. So dual watch is your ability to listen to a channel of your choosing, so whatever you want to pick. So let's assume 12 in our instance, and 16.
Okay.
Okay, you can't select 12 and 14 or 12 and 6. It's always one channel of your choosing and 16. So if you just pop your radios onto, let's go channel 8, for example. Let's assume we're out with a couple of boats and we've decided we're going to monitor channel 8. And then if you select DW at the bottom, on your screen it will flash up in small writing, dual 16. Everyone got that?
Yeah.
Good.